When I first started as a counselor, I had no idea how many women were in our community facing crisis pregnancy situations, unsupportive parents, boyfriends, and sometimes husbands that don't value the sanctity of life, and they believe that abortion is that quick fix.
Oh, well, I was with my boyfriend for a year and a half, and I decided to make that next step. And so, September, I realized something was wrong, and I decided to take a test, and it came back positive. And of course, fear, tears, anger, not understanding went through my head. Why would, quote, fate, this would be my fate. And so I called a friend of mine, her name was Leah, and she advised me to go ahead and talk to the pregnancy center. And I called them, and I found out the times, and I drove myself alone up here. And that's where I met Karen. In my head, there was not much options, because my boyfriend did inform me that abortion was what he wanted, So to hear that somebody was going to talk to me about something different, it meant a lot to me. She didn't tell me what everyone else was telling me. She actually cared about an 18-year-old girl. So it meant a lot. I didn't consider going to my parents for help because I was just ashamed. I knew what I had done was wrong. And I couldn't think or fathom the thought that they would open their arms to something that I did at such a young age.
When I first met Kristin, she had so many questions, and she was uncertain as to the choices that she wanted to make for her baby. But yet I sensed that there was just an openness. I mentioned right away, I think, to her that she was just a sweet person. And although she was a believer in Jesus Christ, that first day that we met, she wanted to rededicate her life to Christ.
She held my hand, she prayed with me. She did more than give me brochures. She gave herself. She gave me the option to talk to her, to have an open ear. And I remember she prayed this one prayer, and part of it says, lighten the hearts of the people that she's going to tell. And that really meant a lot. And I kept praying that afterwards, because I really needed that. It was strange just to see somebody so open and so caring about me. My boyfriend of a year and a half who, quote, loved me, didn't care as much as her. So, and she didn't even know me. It was like God used a vessel, and I've never seen God, but I think I felt His grace. I went ahead and I decided to do the sonogram, even though I knew that I was going to have an abortion appointment. I still wanted to look at him because I knew it was going to change my mind. To see his heart, just to see it. I got to hear it, but just to see it, that was insane. Like, all the people telling me, oh, she's just a little being. It's just this thing inside of you, and it's attached to you, and it hasn't grown, it hasn't done anything. It all went out the door. And then to hear it, I think it was 171 beats per minute. I was floored, and I couldn't get that sound out of my head. Even though it sounded like racehorses, it sounded like my baby's heart. But I think my real big turning point, I was driving home in the rain, because I didn't like driving in the rain, so I turned back from where I was going, and I decided to turn into a park right by my house. And I got out of the car, it stopped raining, and I sat by a bench, and I saw little baby ducks and the mama ducks, and it started raining again, but I was under a tree, and I just felt peace. I felt calm, and I felt I felt like it was all over. You know, the bad was over and it was just about to get good. And I became a mama that day.
And I know that there are other women in our community that just haven't found a place where they can go and receive love, the love of Christ, and know that He's there for them regardless of their circumstances. And it's such a blessing to be given the opportunity to sit quietly and just listen to the stories and share hope and opportunities and resources. And again, that Christ just loves us all. We don't deserve it. And He loves us in spite of that.
And I think people who get this assumption that a pregnancy center is a bad place because there's messed up teenagers here and, you know, girls that made mistakes, they need to get that out of their head. We're girls just like your daughter, just like your sisters. We're like everyone else, and we need help.